All right, peace, peace, peace. Well, first and foremost, man, hopefully the Most High in your house shall blessing your day. By His mercies you are consumed. We're allowed in the Most High in your house shall's body. And two, are naturally alive, man. I want to get into this real quick, man, because um, this is important to the witness, the testimony, the gospel, man, and also too how this relates to, like, honestly, like, even in the righteous aspect, in the wicked aspect and the righteous aspect, man. When the word talks about a woman, man, it's not always talking about like a natural woman, man. Because like shout out to brother send me firstborn, like we always talk about here, man. Like to know the conduct of our people, you have to know the conduct of women and children, man. So, but I want to get into this though, man, because it's kind of going to go into it though, man. But as we go on later, man. But also too, this kind of goes into because really, honestly, too, this is how how Shah in John 6 too was the bread of spiritually he's that bread, man. Because this might be enough video for no. I'm just gonna merge it with this video, man. Because Bethel means what in Genesis where Jacob was with the Most High Shah, man. When that means the house of Yahweh or house of God, pretty much, man. But Bethlehem means the house of bread, man. So that's why Yahweh even being born in Bethlehem shows you that he was that bread, not just that he was that manna from the sky, man. Honestly, like the brother that sent me first one said, he was that manna on the sky that we receive daily, but it was rejected. But see, there's a mastermind with the Most High Yahushua. Because notice, Yahushua was only here, because how long were we in the? Let's just think about something real quick. How long were we in the wilderness? We were there for 40 years, right? So, but it knows how during that time we got what you call them, we got the manna from heaven, man. And the crazy thing is that manna could taste however and say if you like chicken, it could taste like chicken. Say if you wanted any other food, it could taste like that. But see, that's where that Proverbs comes in. The eyes of men are never satisfied. But that's neither here nor there. But because wisdom of Solomon goes into that, how it could taste however you want it to taste. But that's neither here nor there. But let's think about something real quick before we even go into this, right? Yeah, we was in the wilderness for our ancestors, our forefathers. We was in the wilderness for 40 years, right? So, and this is how Yahushua is that bread, man. The word, pretty much the word, but Yahushua was on earth for 33 years. So what's 40 to how much is to get 40 to get to 30 to get 33 to 40, man. It's 7 plus 33 is 40, man. So that's to tell you it's completion, man. It's and that's really that 7 is of course with completion with the Most High Yahushua, man. So I was just thinking about that real quick because Yahushua in John 6 says he was that dead. His time on earth he was that bread that that was rejected. Same thing in the beginning, man. We're not in the beginning. I should say when when we came out of Egypt, how they didn't want the bread, man. They want to go back for the melons and all the stuff like that. The pretty much like Proverbs says the bread of wickedness of Egypt, man. Pretty much means they want to sin rather than righteousness, man. Honestly, too. So even that even that bread tasting however you want it, man. That goes into, and see, that's how the Most High Yahshua's mercy. That can go into how, listen, if you do it, if you're faithful, living according to promises and obedient to Most High Yahushua, man, they'll bless you. They'll bless you in the back end of things in your life that you want, man. But but on their time, man, especially because it's really about the will of the Most High Yahushua and not our own will, man. So that's just what it is. I thought that was very interesting, man, because 33, 40, minus 33 is 7, and I think 43 is minus 33 is pretty much it's pretty much 7, man. So in the in that we was in the wilderness for 40 years, and we received during that time we received bread and manna from the sky, when Yahushua says that in John 6, and he was only on earth for 33 years, man, because so that's just what it is. But anyway, let's get into this, man, because I just want to go into it because it goes into Bethel, because Bethel means house of God or house of the Most High, house of Yahweh, and Bethlehem means house of bread. So because it's always important going to biblical definitions. But ow, hit my toe. Shot me in my pinky toe. I'm playing. Y'all ever seen Harlem Nights? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Good movie, classic movie though. Y'all recommend y'all see Harlem Nights. But yeah, dang man, that's crazy. Most of that cast is gone, man. Honestly, passed away. It's just crazy. But let's get Genesis chapter 33. The Genesis chapter 31, because this goes into that, man. But this all goes into also too, like that pillar of like here how the Most High tells you, Most High House tells you the end from the beginning, man. Like this is Genesis chapter 1. Genesis 31 verse 13. It says, I am the God of Bethel, where thou anointest the pillar. And where thou hast vowed a vow unto me. Now arise, get thee from this land, and return to the land of thy kindred. So yeah, exactly. So and that's crazy, man. You know what's crazy too is how it's different, a lot of different things on the spectrum. Because he said that the Most High House said that Jacob's grandfather Abraham to in Genesis 12 and Genesis 15 to leave, because Abraham, that's why he just followed the word. He's followed faith. He didn't know where he's going, but Jacob said no, go back to your land, go back to your, because he was with Laban during this time, trying to get Rachel, man, but he got Leah and Rachel pretty much, and that was represented, of course, the two kingdoms, and that's another story for another day. But yeah, so he did that. But I just want to show you how on the inverse is crazy, man. But it's the same recurrent theme motif in with the scriptures, man. It's like that movie, TV show, or video game. It's the same type of deal. But anyway, Genesis chapter 31 verse 13. It says, I am the God of Bethel, where thou anointest the pillar, where thou vowest a vow unto me. Now rise, get thee from this land, return to the land to thy kindred. So see, it says anoints the pillar. So see, but see, this is oh my gosh, this is let's go to Revelation real quick, man, because this doesn't Bethel mean house of of God pretty much, and then let's go to Revelation 3 and 12. Then it say that those that are faithful or obedient will be a pillar in the Most High in Yahushua's temple, because why you'll be a temple in the kingdom, in this temple, man. One, inwardly, man, you had that, man, and that that's just inwardly, then physically, man. So that's all overcoming, man. Honestly, this is him that overcometh. I'll make him a pillar in my temple of my God. And he will go no, and he shall go no more out, and I'll write upon him the name of this going into the new name, and see this goes into we're gonna go into this. I'll give him the new name of my God, and the new name of the city of my God, which is New Jerusalem, and which came down from heaven from my God. I'll write upon him my new name. So see, this goes back because the Most High Yahshua, man, they tell you an end from the beginning, man. So just like Adam, that's why he says the sons of men are beasts, man. Just like the first Adam named all the creatures, the second Adam's going to name all the creatures, man. The end of that new name, man. So we talked about this before, but let's go Ecclesiastes 3 real quick, because since we right here, Ecclesiastes 3 and verse 18, it says, I said in my heart that concerning the estate of the sons of men, that Yahweh might manifest them, that they see that they themselves are beasts. So see, just like in Genesis 2, in Genesis with the first Adam, he named all the creatures, stuff like that. The second Adam is going to do the same thing with the what we just read with the with the new name in Revelation. That's why, to me personally, I get it. Honestly, too, I get this too. Let me say this too, but I have run across this in my walk, during my time I walk. But I'll say this too. A lot of times, different people in this walk, they in the knowledge, they just give themselves a new Hebrew name or new name, and there's nothing wrong with that, because because in the end, it's just it's really, I understand it, because they from their mind aspect, they associate their name with the old person, with the old man or old woman, with the old person, and they don't want to be known as that. But certain times, but also too, a lot of times too, but those that don't have a new name, they just decide to keep their new name, because listen, one, the Most High Yahshua already knows your name, honestly, to be real, because like the brother 71st one said, he knows your name already. But if you want to change your name, so that's cool, I'm not against that. But those that just because you don't choose to call your name, you give yourself a Hebrew name, Bala Shalawala or something like that. Like, and I'm not making fun. I'm saying something like that. That doesn't mean like that. That doesn't mean anything, man. Because honestly, the Most High House, and like Lord's will, like if it's His will, like if you do what you're supposed to do in that day, like in that new heavens, new earth, like in the regeneration, man, like that's He gonna give you that. The Most High House are gonna give you that new name. So all that stuff don't even matter, man. So just like it's the same thing, like like the brother, like shout out to brother Kwame called Shalimah Aka War, brother sent me first one, like with the whole garments and stuff like that, with the whole like it don't matter, man, because like I'd rather to be clothed in that garment of righteousness than be worried about fringes per se. And there's nothing wrong with wearing them. I'm just saying, like that's those rather be clothed in righteousness rather than that. Then then the Most High House, I said, once you have those physical, like I mean those spiritual, like garments, like then later on they're gonna give you that physical white robe. So it's just that's just what it is too. Let me just say that because I have come across that, like I don't really talk about that as much, but that since I not all, but pretty much it's a very small scare. But since you don't have people will look at you kind of strange if you don't have go by a Hebrew quote unquote name and stuff like that. And two, to be honest with you, man, you in this walk, man, you gotta be authentic too, man. Gotta actually be like it can't become, because it's too like I know you don't like. Here's the thing, you still want to be like the best advice I got, man. Shout out to, I think I told you before, but shout out to them, man. I ain't gonna say their names, but I'll say them. The elder brother Judah Mack and Master, but elder brother and Master Arthur too. Shout out to him. But he told me, man, listen, just be yourself, but man, just be faithful to Most High House, try to keep the commandments, man. But be yourself, man, because that's honestly too. Because when you come in, you don't always have to kind of like become a character, man, like a type of thing, man, because I even I kind of felt prayed that early on in my walk in this, man, but it's like no, you realize it's not going to be relatable with people, like this you gotta say these type of catchphrases or this and that. No, man, it's be who you are, and it's really your life that people should see, that you should worship the Most High in your house, how they being glorified and how you live. Like, okay, dang, so it is what it is, because one, there's only a Most High in your house to win people over to word and stuff like that, and they had to change their heart and to renew their heart, and they do the call and choosing, but and also too, but they might see it through your life and things of nature, and then that's just what it is. Other than that, that's just what it is too. So let me just say that as well, man. But but all the things I mentioned, like even like you have a Hebrew name, fringes or garments, something. I'm not bashing that against it. I'm just like I just wanted to make a point on that real quick, because there's things I personally encountered. Like this is what it is. But yeah, man. But let's grab this too. Genesis 31. Genesis 31, verse 13. I'm the God of Bethel, where thou anointest a pillar, where thou vowest a vow unto me. Now rise, get thee from out of the land, return to thy kindred, land of thy kindred. So see, yeah, man. Also too, since we let's guard this aside right real quick, man. Because if you're you being a pillar of rest, being this a virtuous wife, pretty much, which is a pillar of rest, you're gonna get that one. You're gonna get that pillar of rest, spiritually or inwardly, then physically. The Most High house is gonna give you that pillar of rest, So look, like what we just read. Yeah, okay, no, this is not the one. Okay, it's where is the pillar of rest? Yeah, Ecclesiastes chapter 36 and verse 24. He that getteth a wife getteth a possession, and a help like unto himself is in the pillar of rest. So see, that's where that if you're a pillar of rest, if you're that, because I was reading, because today's the 31st, so if you that Proverbs 31 woman to the Most High your house shall being the bride of Christ, if you're at Proverbs, well, let me say this too. If you're just good, because Proverbs 31 is the creme de la creme. It's a top shelf type of it's like the Abigails, the Judith, it's that because it even said Proverbs 31. Many have done virtuously, but this is a virtuous woman. This is the top shelf. But even if you like pretty much like that, you're being virtuous, pretty much like you're doing virtuously, you're gonna get that pillar of rest from the Most High Yahweh, and we'll lead them physically, man. So that's what it is, man. Like so yeah, it says he that giveth a wife giveth a possession, and is like a help of like a help unto himself, a pillar of rest. So see, if you're that pillar of like if you're a pillar of rest, like if you move in a certain way, because you can't. I don't want to say pillar of rest to the Most High house, because they don't need us at all. They don't need me at all to be a pillar of rest to them at all. They don't need that at all. So that's why I'm not saying it. But pretty much, if you're moving like that, like a good wife to the Most High house, man, being the bride of Christ, then that's what you're going to receive, that pillar of rest, like in the temple. Inwardly, because remember what he said in John 2, the temple he spake above of himself. It was like, that's why, like, the king, he said the kingdom was within you. Like, the temples, it was within you. Like, in the 1 Corinthians, your body is the temple, man. That's is what it is in 1 Corinthians 6. But, yeah, man, that's is what it is. But also, too, let me say this too, man. Let's read this verse again. Ecclesiastes. Let me make another side note. Ecclesiastes also like that 36 verse 24, because this verse gets like a lot of shout out to brother sent me the first one because he pointed that out, and I have heard what you call them, even outside the word conversations without the word, like outside with this stuff. But let's get this. Ecclesiastes 36 and verse 24. He that giveth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest. So see, when they see but see, here's the thing, right? But see, it's all prophecy and Satan's kingdom, and like the Jeremiah 31:22, a woman compassionate man, like the mother goddess worship, the divine feminine, the mother goddess worship, that's energies and spirits that's out there. Isaiah 3:12 and other places, stuff like that, because they look at that like this is getting looked at as a bad thing, but not realizing a man is going to look out for his possession. Don't you like I remember when DMX, one of his first features on it was on LL Cool J 4321. He said, listen, like he said one of his lines. He said, "Do you value life or your possessions, man? Like you're supposed to value life spiritually. Then, like the possessions that comes and goes. But pretty much, why he's saying that, man? Because a lot of people value their possessions. Why do you think, like that Nathan made that parable to David, like about about the little lamb that was all the man had, man, pretty much, man. Because listen, if somebody has a possession, you're gonna care about it. Well, you would think. Now that's why the scriptures goes into, before Sirach 4:30 goes into, listen, don't be a lion in your household. Just because people are under you, don't treat them a certain way. But yeah, man, if one would think like one or like real upstanding man, like in his right state of mind, whether you're in the word or out the word, he's gonna care about his possession. So when people see that, but see, this is different thing too, because this is why this is where we're living prophecy, man, because people being proud and not even like this is even different, because listen, because not even some people now, they don't that goes into a hearts of man thing, that goes into an inward thing, man. Because then Joseph brothers, our patriarchs, they said to Joseph, they said, listen, well, if you read other translations or even in it, they said, listen, we'll be your slaves, pretty much, man. Because when a lot of times sisters say, oh, I ain't your slave or something, like, even certain brothers, when because the word does go into Ephesians, goes into we gotta submit ourselves to one another a lot of times too. Like I ain't just like, no, man, it's not about that a lot of times too. That's why shout to even the brother I remember years ago, the brother a while back, the Joel or y'all also Sons of Thunder, man. He said this, man. We live in a point now where everybody has to be a guy. It's not good just to be a good soldier anymore, man. It's we all that's why even the word says, he that put himself in authority shall be hated. Everybody just gotta be the guy. Everybody there's nothing wrong being an employee or everybody has their own business, something like that. I don't want to work for somebody. Some people are wired that way. Some people have to. There's nothing wrong with that, because some people just can't do that. It's what it is. I'm not regarding the people that do, but it's more, sometimes it comes from a spirit aspect of I could just tell people what to do. I don't want to work for nobody. I don't like being told what to do. I don't like. Now some people don't actually like being some people that they are like that, but some people they just, it's not cool enough to do dirty work no more, be the or be a role player. Like, you know, he's got to be everybody has to be the man, or has to be about them, man, too. So that's just what it is. But even Abigail, if you read in the Oxford, it says she's listen. I'll be a slave. She told David, I'll be a slave, man. So it's even, but you know, people don't. It's just it's more like a different type of thing now, man. It's just you know, it's just more of it's like, you know, it's like kind of like that. Yeah, that lack of humility stuff like that people don't want to do, because it means like, because that always makes people feel like, you know, they're you know they're weak or something like that. There's nothing wrong with actually doing your role, man. It is what it is. But you know, but then that pride and ego gets away, like, you know, wanting the credit and wanting to be about them, be all praise and esteem, man. Because man, because honestly, man, it's just like, you know, as long as the Most High House shot getting the steam, man, or like, you know, that's just is what it is, man. Or like, you know, the job gets done. That's just is what it is, man. Because like, you know, in Ecclesiastes also known as Sirach 44, man, it goes into the man. You think every person, here's the thing, right? You think every righteous person is written in his word? No, even the word says that, man. But it didn't matter, man. The Most High House and the angels saw they work, so that don't even matter at the end of the day, man. Because like, you know, you give like, you know. Cause that's what your house shot taught, man. Like, you know, it's about the common goal, man. That's why when he got on, he checked the 12, like, no, man, saying, no, I'm gonna be next one, I'm gonna be next one. He's like, no, man, it's about, no, we brother, man. It's about the Most High house shot, like the Most High getting esteem, and like, you know, and me living out and fulfilling the word what was written of me, man. That's what it's about, man. Not all this other stuff, but you know. That's if you're in the word, even outside the word too. We see that every day, but that's neither here nor there. But I get that. But a lot of times too, that verse gets a lot of, and of course all the other verses in the word gets that. But you know, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, yeah, man. Because but like, you know, possession, man. Somebody's gonna take care of their possessions. I think. Well, somebody in their right mind's like, yeah, I know, I care about that. Like, you know, no, that's like, you know, it is what it is, man. Like, you know, gonna take, because like, you know, because it's like, yeah, because it says like help like unto himself, man. Because like, you know, that's why Yahshua said, has anybody ever hated his own flesh? No, man, no. So that's just what it is, though, man. But hopefully it's all about being a pillar, man. Like hopefully it's edifying, man. So much love to your brothers and sisters. So peace.